There's going to be more and more automated, and we just have to accept it. If you don't accept it, you must be living in a cave or something. Things will be automated, whether we like it or not. It's not a if, it's a when.
If you can use a tool, why wouldn't you? That's the way I look at it.
It's partially identity. They're losing their identity because they think that partially the AI is going to replace them again, versus what are you assigning the AI to do? I want to create more podcasts, and I don't want to be on those podcasts. So I created asynchronous podcasts. All my podcasts are fully automated. It's me saying those questions one more time, and then every single time it's me asking the exact same questions, which don't add more value. There's a new person answering them.
But how do I stand out from a crowd? Everybody's using it.
You and AI scale. You alone do not scale. Scalability is the key thing here.
What's the very first baby step you should take if you think you're not technical?
Use it anyways. You don't have to be technical to use these. These tools have been democratized where developers are almost irrelevant in this respect.
Right. Well, welcome, Henrik, to the show. I know this is our fourth go at AI. We started talking about AI about almost 3 years ago. So today, I'd like to make this a conversation so we share our experiences and people listening and watching walk away with something tangible they can actually implement immediately. So I like to talk to the small business owner or business owner typically who's already working nights and weekends and feels and hears AI will, save you a lot of time. And they go, oh yeah, sure. Here comes another AI thing to talk about. And so how can they get time back? Because people make these promises and they go, yeah, and then, what am I going to get out of this? And then there are other factions, as will say, I don't trust this AI. I don't really care about it. What are you seeing? Because I think we talked about before we recorded the 2-3 categories of adoption and where it goes for them.
Well, thanks for having me on the show, Raju. So yeah, it does start with adoption, and it does start with getting over the fear of AI. So if you're afraid of AI and you're not willing to kick the tires, we can't help you, basically. You have to help yourself first, literally, to the buffet of AI. And once you get over that fear factor and want to understand what can it do for me, which is kind of it's there for, not how it can take advantage of you. But what it can do for me, then you look at the buffet of AI options, which are thousands of tools, some more popular than others. And you avoid the fear factors that are in the media all day long, because that's what sells newspapers, magazines, and television shows. And you actually look at what it can actually do for you. And more importantly, what tasks are sucking up your time, and auditing that time and those tasks to understand which ones can be assigned to AI. So looking at AI first instead of wasting my time doing something for the 50,000th time. And doing that for whatever you do in your business, whether it's finance, whether it's customer service, whether it's responding to comments online on social media, or creating newsletters, or whatever that looks like, or getting more leads, or getting to more customers, or helping more customers, existing ones, for example. Whatever that happens to be, there's a solution for everything. It's just a matter of whether you need to create it, or is it out of the box, and which tools are going to be the most helpful, if that makes sense.
Right. So that's like a top view. You're either against it and you don't bother with it because you don't care about it. You don't know enough about it. So that's the kick the tires point. Or third, I think what I read in Forrester, or one of these recent articles, that today, I think early first quarter 2026, there's some level of adoption is different for each company, but 70% of the companies, at least at a broader business enterprise level, are obviously adopting and doing something with AI, because that's what they do, and they have the money and the budgets to do that. But then there's the other category of all the, what is it? 75% of our country is got businesses, right? So they're the ones that run the show in our country. So leave aside the plumbers and all you need them to still do stuff, and maybe the robots will come. I don't know if Elon Musk is to be believed, but those jobs will continue. But there's the mid America, let's call it, not talk about the rest of the world. How can they actually even look at this? Okay, I don't mind using it, but I don't know how to adopt it to my business.
Well, I don't think it matters where you're physically located as long as you have the tools in question, whether you're a plumber or an accountant or a business owner or whatever your role is in business world, um, or even at home, right? Because plenty of us work at home. So even if you don't work and you're just looking for a job, AI can help you create your own resume, cover letters, make sure that you doesn't look like it came out of AI. All the things. So it has nothing to do with location, and it has nothing to do with your role. It has to do with what are you willing it to do, and what are you permitted to do with it. Let's stick with the legal things that you can do with it, because every technology starts with the nefarious, and then it goes into, oh, this would be really helpful if I used it for actually good things for myself, or for the company or my group or department, team, whatever that looks like. And going down that rabbit hole of what are we wasting time on? And understanding, okay, well, do we if marketing department needs to create a newsletter, is that a good use of our time? Probably not, because it's time consuming. And you could create thousands of newsletters with the same voice that you normally have in the past with AI. You could create all of these other things. You could respond to social media comments, not manually, which is extremely time consuming. You could do it in an automated fashion. You could do assessments, right? Have you done assessments, Raju?
Oh yeah, of course, all the time. Assessments
And
for opportunities to use AI, or we
sure, yeah. Did AI create the assessment for you?
AI certainly helped me create. So I think so that's a great question, but I want to just touch on a larger point because it's endemic in cultures when a change is about to happen.
Mhm.
So immediately the reaction is it's negative, right? The whole thing is horrible. I'm never going to use
Changes
it.
your no, yeah, sure.
I'm never going to use it because it's I've heard, I've heard,
Different,
I've heard, I've heard. Okay, well, people can complain. People complain all the time about
of course.
everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the biggest complaint I hear is, okay, I hear all that, but you look at everybody's doing newsletters now. More books are being written, 7 times, 8 times the number that was there 3 years ago. So if AI is doing all the writing, why am I how am I sure that this is not AI written? A book is not AI written, or a post or my resume is written by AI. Who am I in this equation? So, and first, if that's the case, where do I stand out in this? Like, how do I make my voice heard? I mean, I'm making training AI to write like my voice or speak
Mhm.
like my, well, not really write mostly.
You can
I
speak
need
like you
to
do.
speak too. But how do I stand out from a crowd? Everybody's using it. I'm not going to use it because I'm uniquely, gifted to do whatever I'm gifted to do. So why don't I just do that? So that's the negative side of how things always are going to happen. People are not going to do it, but then they get left behind, I suppose.
Mhm.
In that
Yes, very much
example.
so. Yeah, because you and AI scale. You alone do not scale.
Correct. Yeah, I mean,
It's that simple. Scalability is the key thing here.
even if you're a
Scalability.
solopreneur, even if you're just by yourself, right?
Time to market. You wanna reduce that, right?
That's right.
That's
And
how
if
you do
everybody
it
else
with
is
AI
doing it, you're going to be eaten up alive because
all day
everyone's
long,
all along. It
every
means
day.
you have to have more scale and more numbers out there, more emails out there. But I think that the distinction between quality, your uniqueness versus what AI can do, I think of it as a calculator or a computer. When there were no in 1984, there were no computers, and now we carry this little device. It's like a magic computer, that can do so many things. So if you can use a tool, why wouldn't you? That's the way I look at it. Then it's about whatever tool you use. It's a training. You could train it to talk like you, etc. They go, oh, that's fake. I'm talking to an AI. That's the complaint, right? Oh, you create your own clone. You have an app that talks like me. Well, I
And
don't know
nowadays, you can't tell.
as you can tell. So the question is, what are people struggling with when it comes to these sorts of defenses?
I think it's partially identity. They're losing their identity because they think that partially the AI is going to replace them again, versus what are you assigning the AI to do, right? Not in the nefarious sense of stealing your identity, right? But literally in the sense of like, I want to create more podcasts and I don't want to be on those podcasts. So I created asynchronous podcasts, quite literally. All my podcasts are fully automated. It's me saying those questions one more time, right? Recorded. And then every single time it's me asking the exact same questions, which don't add more value. And there's a new person answering them. So that's asynchronous podcast recording, quite literally. It is available today. I've been using it for several years. So why should I waste my time? Because I can have conversations like this all day long, right? But I don't need to ask the same questions over and over and over again for another 400 or 500 episodes.
Right. Or maybe we'll talk virtually without being physically there.
And that's been done before too.
You've done that too. Yeah, we've done that too.
The two AIs talking to each other for a podcast recording.
Sure.
Yeah, that's been done before too.
Mhm.
Several years ago.
So I know that going back to your question about assessments. Yeah, I mean, I feed what I want the assessment to do, and it creates it, and then all I have to do is obviously edit it. It can't go out like it is if I don't like the language or the words, etc. So, and then it's done. I think the point you're making is, if normally an assessment I would sit there and even type or write whatever, maybe it could take me 2, 3, 5 hours, and I'm putting my proprietary knowledge in all these. I think I have proprietary knowledge. The thing is, if I feed it to an AI tool, it comes up with things I never even thought about. Right?
Exactly.
So
Ideation.
that's the thing, right? The capacity to allow more thinking to happen, more ideas to come. I think that's the beauty of it. Then, of course, you can whittle it down to say, okay, yeah, I would not say this or ask this question, so let me delete that. Let me fix it. Fixing it, reviewing it, editing takes so much less time than actually writing from scratch. We all know that.
Absolutely. It's also an ego check if you think about it.
Absolutely.
Because if my ego's too big, I'm not going to allow it to do my work because I'm special. I'm a unique snowflake.
That's
No, I'm not. My ideas are not that
That's your
unique.
premise. I think we are unique snowflakes, but
Sure.
not for the most part. Yes,
Right.
we're all
Right.
humans.
We're regurgitating other people's things
Right.
into different ideas.
Okay, so let's talk about some quick applications that people might identify with. Number one, for example, is email synthesis, right? I get bombarded with the emails. If you're owner and founder, of course, many more to you. But then, I'm trying to build a pipeline. I got people, reaching out to me, and with the AI, more and more people are reaching out to me on this automated email nonsense. And it's like, can AI help me deflect, or at least say, okay, just only focus on the more important things? That's possible, correct?
Absolutely. Especially based on the sender or the topic. Filtering based on those things. Very, very easy.
So what else in the email context can people?
Well, it can respond based on what suggestions do you have if I want to respond positively or negatively to this thing. Let's pretend it's a business proposal or whatever, or anything that some people email you about, right? Or digest these attachments, right? And summarize them so I don't have to read a 100-page deck, right? Of gibberish for the most part. It's like, tell me how this compares to my criteria that matters, right? For a business proposal, right? It was like, okay, is it paying enough? Is it lucrative enough, et cetera, all the things. Is it profitable, et cetera, et cetera. All the things that, like, I don't read many books physically. I'm an author. I've written 9 books. I either get an audio version because my ears are more available than my eyes, or I have an AI digest the entire book and summarize it for me in minutes.
Yep, absolutely. We're talking about one case where we, as bankers, receive tons of decks and writing and all that. And when you're engaging with a client, or even in a pitch stage, you're pitching to them or they're pitching to you. They send you so many materials that you have to go through. AI can actually read it for you in minutes, and what would normally take you reading a 50-page document, maybe a few hours, and you go down the list. You can actually have it summarize it for you quickly, and then decide whether you want to spend more time on it or not, right?
Exactly. Yeah, totally. It's a great research tool. It's a great summarization tool. It's a great ideation tool. It's all those things. There's fantastic about it because it'll just take all the global information, any language, quite literally, summarize, translate, whatever you want it to do, right? And you don't have to waste time going from tool X to tool Y to tool Z to do all these things. So you can summarize and research topics that are completely new to you. You don't need to know anything about them and go down that rabbit hole as deep as you want and find out, is this worth my time? What should I know about this? Summarize this. Give me the key highlights of this book, this article, anything, and find out what you actually care about. And you can even create a profile around what your voice is, what you actually your priorities are, in whether it's your business or personal, and digest those very, very quickly. Digest just about anything and consume massive amounts of information and massive amounts of emails, to your point, to just summarize things that actually matter to you.
So we're not going to talk about tools because there's a zillion tools you can use. Somebody asked me, can I just put this in the chat? Yeah, possibly. Yeah, of course. Can you go look at my email? So then you say, okay, here's how I look at my emails. And so it's like, it's not that complicated. And if you don't like it, try it again. So, 3 years ago when we talked, there was a lot about prompt engineering, right? Big prompt courses were coming out, faculties were teaching code. Now it's like, even that is like, yes, it's garbage in, garbage out if you don't ask the right questions, but you have to be as specific as you can. And there's so many ways you can actually feed in permanent information or more or less permanent information about you, because that doesn't change that often, to then you train it so it can respond to you with how you would respond.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are still watching, listening, the first experiment is simple this week. Don't write from scratch. Let AI do the ugly first draft for you. Okay? And you just become the editor. That's the way I look at this. So let's move from writing to the boring stuff that quietly eats away our days. The repeat tasks that we do without thinking, right? So if a small business owner or any business owner picks up one boring repeated task for them, I don't know, when we talk about email, but email, invoices, reminders, appointment confirmations, that old secretaries used to do that in the old days. And what's a realistic way, Henrik, to have AI do it for them, all of it?
Well, you're signing it. You're signing the things that you shouldn't be doing in the first place. That busy work. You find out what that busy work is, and instead of
boring, as I
assigning
call it, whatever, it's like, this is sucking up my time.
Yeah, any task that's sucking up your time or your assistant's time, right? Your assistant could be doing far more valuable things aside from getting you coffee and photocopies or whatever, right? And let's pretend you still print. But it's like it shouldn't be a waste of time for either of you, right? And you want to do more efficient things, more effective things, more things that are going to move the needle for your business and for yourselves, right? If it's not, why are you still doing it? And ask those questions, ask those uncomfortable questions and figure out what those things are. And then figure out, to your point, invoicing, mindless task, honestly. Like, why would you fill out a form for the billionth time for the same customer, let's pretend, right? Like, is there information really changing that much? No, probably just what they're buying, right? Or their repeat buying. That should be very, very, very easy, right? But invoicing is like mindless by today's standard. If you're still doing it manually, you should have automated that years ago, even before AI. but like, so we're automating research, we're automating podcasts, we're automating first drafts of emails, books, you name it, articles, quizzes, assessments, you name it, and then issuing them, and then summarizing the results of those things, and then formatting those results so that's not only friendly to you but friendly to the output of what you're supposed to, how you're going to present this to whoever is going to be consuming this information, right? Because ultimately, it's not just what is it going to do, but how is it going to present it to me, and how am I going to actually consume it, right? Right. So if you're presenting it as a book, or is it presenting it as a PowerPoint, for example, right? PowerPoints, yay, another one, so much fun. right? There are tools that will create you a podcast, an entire slide deck or a PowerPoint within minutes. You just give it the topic and the things that you want on each slide, or not even each slide. Like, give me a X page a slide deck branded based on these brand guidelines, right, with these logos attached at attachments, uh, and then go and then you just format based on that, and you just saved yourself hours safely of instead of moving little lines around and picking little colors, which is, I'm sorry, a mindless task, even for a designer, literally, because if it's branded, it's already selected, let's be honest, right? So don't format. Stop formatting things. There's plenty of AI that will format things properly. There's plenty of AIs that don't know how to format. That's a different issue. Then that's an evolutionary step, honestly, of being able to do it for a PDF or a doc or whatever, right? Or a PowerPoint, to your point. But it's a matter of removing the unnecessary tasks that you're wasting your time on, so you can spend it more wisely or things that you want to do and should be doing.
So, in order for people to identify what the boring task are, a lot of, if it's unconscious and it's boring and they don't think about it, the time is eaten away. They don't even know where to look. So, we have an assessment tool, a basic one for people to even walk away with. So we'll put that in the show notes here for them to download.
I think they'll really benefit from it.
Yeah. So, you work with all sorts of businesses, right? I mean, small, medium, large, right? What real stories, like, let's forget theory. So tell us about a real small business or mid-size, whatever size you've seen, where people are immediately able to save in working with you 5 to 10 hours a week. What do they do exactly, as an example?
Sure. Yeah. So I'll give you two stories. One about a YouTuber. He creates lessons about a particular product line, and there's different lessons, and he has study guides for those lessons. And so we've created an AI to draft his scripts about that product line, to draft the study guides themselves, formatted based on the videos that he recorded about that product line. And then he doesn't have to waste, and neither does his assistants have to waste any time, or significantly less time. There's still a human in the loop, right?
Right,
Let's be honest
of course.
here. But there's about 10 to 20 hours of work saved just based on that, of scripts and study guides not having to be done by human at all. It's basically reviewed, approved, and then if it's not approved, it's reformatted, not by the human, it's redone by the AI with very little commentary. And it's redone until the output is ready and branded for that individual. Another example is a car dealer, where there's that all those uncomfortable conversations and questions that you get from your car dealer, right? When you go to a car dealer, which you could answer before you even step foot there, if you think about it, right? Like, how much? What's your budget? What model do you want? What trim package do you want? What color are you looking for? Really, really basic questions. How are you going to finance this? Are you pre-approved? Blah, 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 right? All these things we created an assessment for, right? It's basically just answer, 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 answer. And instead of being typed, necessarily speaking, you can speak it, right? You can speak the answers into the form. It sends it to the dealership. They pre-assign a person that's going to find those vehicles within your budget, the color, the trim, etc. So, and they can three bears that or find 3 different models that might be appealing to you based on your answers. And you don't have those uncomfortable conversations. You assign a scheduler to figure out when you and your loved ones can come see that vehicle or those vehicles. And you just save the dealership a stupid amount of time and revisits to know what questions they need to ask, to pre-approve financing and all the fun things.
And you already
And
qualified yourself to buy the car, really.
exactly.
For them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So why waste time? Like, oh, I walked in and I can't I can't afford any of these cars. Boo hoo. I'm going to run away now. But I just wasted the dealer a stupid amount of time talking about it. It was like, oh, that's a pretty red colored car. Yay. I wish I could
I mean,
afford
I
it.
don't care about the dealer's time. I care about my time, right?
Of course. Yeah. And so both the consumer wants to not waste time coming into the dealership and have those uncomfortable conversations, especially if they can't afford it or don't know what they want, right? Like they can do all their research and a chatbot can walk them through every single nuance of that model, of that model line, right? So they can go, oh, I need a car for my family of 6, right? Okay, well here's cars that can fit 6 plus people. What are you going to do with the car? Oh, I can go on vacations and blah blah blah, doing water sports, etc. It's like, oh, so you need something that can haul lots of gear and tow hitch, etc. All that. Oh, well, we have several of those models. There's a few models. What color would you looking for? Would you like blah blah features inside that car? Leather, no, all that. It's like, oh yeah, yeah, I want this and that and the other thing. And oh, that's the lowest payment I can get within, X period of time. It's like, "Oh, I can do that. Awesome." Without speaking to a human.
So it occurred to me. There's nothing, no revelation, but the objection people generally have is, I'm talking to an AI. I don't want to talk to AI. But it's not that they're talking to an AI. The AI has actually facilitated all this stuff as you described, right?
Yes.
It's the
At
question of
any hour of the
manual.
day.
Yeah, it's not fake. It's not fake.
No. It's the
So that's the
same
thing.
questions anyone would ask you.
That's right. So it's like, and it can actually do better because, it has a brain far better utilized than ours, because we only use about 3% of our brain apparently. And even if we got to 4%, which is a 33% increase in our utilizing our brain capacity as humans, spent somewhere else rather than worrying about the mechanics. So, it just seems to me that there is some disconnect in the world about this. I'm talking to an AI. Well, so what?
It's irrelevant. You're talking to more AI than and dealing with more AI than you actually realize, because many, many different things have AI behind them.
I mean, it's been going on for 50 years, so we're just catching up now, right? In a way. I mean, your Siri 2007 is basically an AI. GPS is an AI, if you think about it in certain ways, right? Because if you didn't have that data, you wouldn't be able to, we used to use maps, like physical maps. And now the fact that it's all there is why using AI? That's AI for sure. I would argue it is. So it's just, we have this thing like, oh, a machine's talking to us, a chatbot's talking to us. We got over the chatbots that used to speak on those websites, right? Customer service. Yes, you ultimately get to a human being if you want, but most stuff can be answered. So do the same thing for your business, right?
We got over it with an ATM. What's the problem?
Yeah, they took. Oh, I'm not seeing a human being at the teller to get
Right.
my cash from them.
Right. At 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
When the banks
Yeah.
are very, very closed.
So it's automation versus just AI. AI. It's all automation. That's what we're talking about. And it's like, why not use it if it makes your life easier? You're using navigations. You're using all sorts of things anyway. What's another thing, right?
There's going to be more and more automated, and we just have to accept it. And if you don't accept it, you must be living in a cave or something, because with a no connection to or power, because a lot of things are automated and they're going to continue being more and more automated, whether we like it or not. So accept it, use it to your advantage, and continue learning about it, because it's evolving every day or every few weeks. It's that fast.
So another thing I hear a lot when someone hears those stories, like you talk about and we talk about, that sounds great, Raju or Henrik, but I'm not technical. I mean, how many times have you heard, I, I'm not a technical person. What's the very first baby step you should take if you think you're not technical and you feel overwhelmed just by that word? I don't know how to use technology, or I don't like technology.
Use it anyways. I mean, it's like you don't have to be technical to use these. These tools have been democratized, quite literally. That's the word that they've used originally a long, 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 long time ago, like 4 years ago. Democratization of tools, where developers are almost irrelevant in this respect, where you do not need to code anything, literally anything. You just speak what you want it to do, and you describe it, and you have a conversation with it. With many of these tools, and you say, I want this. No, 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 I want this changed and that changed. And it will, for the most part, do it for you with some limitations, of course. And mostly the evolutionary steps of oh, it's not formatting properly. Well, try it later or try a different tool. Like, don't be married to a tool. Do not be married to a tool. The tools that you hear on in the media, those are, some of them are okay, most of them are terrible. And then there's everything else out there, quite literally. And some are amazing, some are life-changing, and some are utterly useless, trash. And the only way you're gonna know is if you try it. And you're not gonna lose anything from it either, except a little bit more time than, but you're gonna waste this much time instead of enormous amount of manual time doing it.
So the pattern I'm hearing is pick one area, keep it small, and measure how much time you're saving actually, if it's
Mhm,
if it's routinized and automated. Don't try
mhm.
to AFI your whole business in a weekend. That's
No,
not really
no,
practical.
that's not gonna work, no.
It's not gonna work. All right, so let's land this with a short check. Let's say someone gave you 15 minutes with a small. I keep saying small business owner, but they are the lifeblood. So why not, right? What would you tell them to do in the next 7 days?
Like 7 days? In day 1, you could find out what are you wasting. You should be able to already know, unless it's not obvious to you and you're still doing monotonous tasks, right? And then ask your 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 peers or your underlings or your superiors, like, what should we be automating?
Hmm.
And that may be uncomfortable conversation for either of you, but
Because one thinks
it,
their job's gonna go if you automate their stuff, right?
no, they're just going to assign you more work.
That too.
If they're dumb enough to let everyone go, then they don't deserve you, period. And then go do your own thing somewhere else. And there's plenty of people doing that because they're realizing that it probably wasn't worth working there. And they have plenty of things, special tasks, unique skills, etc., like you mentioned earlier, unique insights, etc., that other people need. And then they do lots of things with them and automate that, and be a solopreneur or start a small business, to your point. But back to automation, you, things will be automated, whether we like it or not. It's not a if, it's a when. And so start early, learn how it's being done, and watch those evolutionary steps. So within, to your point, 15 minutes or this day 1, like, okay, identify those tasks and pick one, prioritize them, pick one, not 3, pick one that matters, that needs to be automated, and work on that one, day 1. And by day 7, it should be seamless because you'll be able to show everyone that does this thing. Let's pretend it's invoicing or follow-ups or whatever, or email consumption or writing responses, right? The language that you want it to be written in, right? And I don't just mean English. Uh, and writing it, writing or scheduling, right? Things that are wastes of our time, and to remove them from your agenda completely, where it's 100% automated, potentially by AI, possibly completely by AI, and watch it continue to be evolved because those AI models will change regularly, and be ready to change models on an occasion. Don't be married to any piece of AI at all, ever.
Absolutely. So if we were to give a 7-day challenge to people watching and saying keep it very simple, because stop complaining about things you don't know anything about. Like we buy books and we don't read them and then we criticize the book. We haven't read the book. Why are you even criticizing it? Because we have this tendency, because someone told me that movie was great or not so great, instead of doing it yourself, right? So don't go by word of mouth. Just step in. If you're scared of technology, you can, as Henrik said, just speak to it. You can dictate it. You can, or it's when you say somebody speaks, you can text it, you can chat to it, whatever. So here's my sort of version of the 7-day challenge based on what we've just talked about. Maybe look at the email pattern if that's a challenge for you to hand it to AI. Second, one writing task, you never start from a blank page again, ever. And third, one repeat task, you start to automate, to the point you just made. So it's, delegate, automate, eliminate. Eliminate's the best thing. If it doesn't serve you, don't do it anyway. Don't. But if you're going to delegate or automate, you can delegate to AI as well. Of course, automate. What else would you add to this list?
To your point, I would try to automate to an AI first and then to a human if the AI fails. That's what I've been doing recently in the last couple of years. Is I didn't need any human assistance for 98% of the tasks that I used to assign only to humans pre using AI, honestly, before I was using AI, and so there's very, very few tasks that need a human involved for the
Well,
things
that's a
that I
hard
do.
thing for people to hear, right?
It's the truth.
It's the truth. I agree.
That doesn't
I'm just
mean
saying
every
it's hard
business
to
can
hear.
operate that way.
What do you
Granted,
mean? You
I
don't need
don't.
me anymore? What do you mean? Yeah.
But granted, I don't do anything physically. There's no physical product that I produce. Okay, so I don't deliver anything. I don't make anything physical. I don't deliver anything physically. Right. So that is very different than the physical world, like of plumbing, to your point, or restaurants, or delivery from a factory, or distribution center, which is going to be automated shortly as well in the coming years as well. More and more as retooling and as the last mile gets solved. But it's really like, okay, well, cooking for now still done by humans for now, right? But it's true. Like many of these tasks will be automated. How are you going to stay relevant? Focus on that. Focus on the things, the tangible, the live, that cannot be reproduced by an AI.
All right, guys, if you do those 3 or 4 things, my bet is you'll feel a real difference in your week within a month. 7 days, and you can start seeing the benefits of that. Because unless you act, nothing changes, right? So if you don't, it probably means you pick the wrong tasks to or try to do it alone in your head instead of asking for help. I mean, the restaurant point now, how it used to be like, daily specials and the weekly menus, and the menus don't change for age. I've got a restaurant here that actually is using AI to make it scheduled changes every month. They don't have to think about it, right? They sit with the chef and figure out the menu, and it's like, keep rolling it. And it's like amazing that they already have a menu for the next 6 months, right? So people are prepared to now work on those recipes and deliver those. But hey, there's so much opportunity if you just look and be open to it.
Yeah, you can also order all that food ahead of time, or know what food has been sitting there, and create recipes based on that. So you're selling more of that stuff, or about to sell more of that stuff. Yeah. So there's no limit to what AI can help you with, even if it's for your own personal purposes too.
Yes. Oh my
So
God.
yeah.
So true. I have an assistant now. I have one of the 5 to say, take care of my personal life and just remind me about my health and all the things I need to do on a scheduled basis, and send out an email to make an appointment for that. Right? It does it. It's amazing. That sounds too good to be true, but it is not. It's just this is like archaic at this point for people who are using AI.
Yeah. From some of the things that you actually wear, right? Like a Apple Watch or a Ring or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, all these are nothing but you're walking around with AI tools all day long. All right. Well, we'll link the assessment and any other tools that we can think of between now and the release of this episode, and we'll look forward to hearing from you. You can reach out to me or to Henrik, and we'll put the details in as well. Thanks again, Henrik. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.